Hi everybody, and welcome to what is really the end of this project that you've been doing, which has been on artificial intelligence and Python. Don't forget, at this stage, I'm not expecting you to be anywhere near an expert on Python. I'm not expecting you to be really confident on Python. Some of you will be, some of you will be gaining that confidence, and some of you will feel like you're still quite lost with it. That's okay. The main thing is that you try and pick up some of the really basic skills. It's like learning any language, as I've talked about before. So if you can converse in any language to say hello, goodbye, those kinds of things at a basic level, greet somebody, say what your name is, those kinds of things, that's what you look for at a basic level. So what we're looking for in terms of computer code, computer language, is to be able to just put something on screen, display something on screen, and then we do what's called being able to declare a variable and pass a variable through. What that means is you're able to accept a response from somebody and do something with that response. That's what the variable, declaring a variable and using a variable or passing a variable through is. And then we get onto this conditional statement, the if statement, which is the if and the elif and the else. And that's just the ability to be able to ask a question of somebody and then be able to choose one of a few options based on their response. So that's all you've done so far. So I know it's, for some of you, this is quite difficult, but all I'm asking you to do is continually use those processes to construct this text adventure story. If you can get your head around those simple tasks and the fact that you're repeating the same thing over and over again, you'll be fine with this. Okay, and remember, practice makes perfect. I'm not going to assess you expecting things to be perfect. I'm expecting you to show that you've had a go at this, and that's what it's about, and that's what it's been about from the start. If you do remember, I said right at the beginning of the course what I expect from you, and it is about that effort and having a go. Okay, having said that, we are at that time where you need to hand things in. And I want three things from you. I want evidence of testing, I want the actual Python code, and I want evidence of you doing a data flow diagram. That's you planning out your story. Now, although I know a lot of you will have already written your story or be partway through writing your story or text adventure and have not done the data flow diagram. Yeah, that's common, but that there is not a good way to approach things. That's like building a house or starting to build a house before you've planned it out. So it's really good practice to get used to it in any walk of life, whatever you're doing, any piece of work you're doing, to plan something out beforehand. Okay, so let's crack on. What you'll see in front of you here is an example of a text adventure that I've written. It's not finished. It's only got one if, elif, else statement in. You should have a minimum of 5. But this gives you an example of the sort of things I'm looking for, and then the story would develop from here. Notice it's got comments in it. The comments in it are hashtagged out there. That's good practice to have in your code. Will get you a better grade. All right, if we look at it here, it starts off with a print statement that introduces things. Then it declares a variable here called direction that allows somebody to input answer to this question here. Which way do you want to go? If they input right, then this happens to them. Crab eats them and they die. Else if or elif, as it's written in Python, they go left, and then the person makes it out alive, and then else deals with everything else. So first things first, what does that look like in a data flow diagram? That will look like this. So if I just pull this over to one side like this, and then bring that over to there like that. Okay, so we've got start at the beginning, and then this whole print statement here is just represented by this rectangle here that says arrive on a crab farm. So arrive on a crab farm, notice that's a process. There's no question coming out of that. That's what happens in a diamond. So arriving on a crab farm is the process that's happened there. And then when the question is asked, do you want to go left or right? That's represented by this diamond here called direction. So I've just called that direction after that variable there. So the direction is the if statement here. That's what's represented by that. So you could have written in that box if go left or right if you wanted. Okay. So then the two options are left goes alive and right goes dies. So this actually is missing one thing. It needs a label on here. So I'll just stick this on here, shape here, and I'll stick a little rectangle on there, and I'll just bring it across here, and I'll edit. I'll edit the text, and I'll just put left, and then I'll copy, paste that over to here, and I'll go right. Oops, can't type this morning. Okay, so there we go. So arrive on a crab farm, you can go left or you can go right. If you go left, you're alive, and you go right, you die. I'm not representing the else statement. I could do by having an arrow that goes backwards, because else doesn't do anything. All it does is it keeps people in the same position. The most important thing is to represent the left or the right, because they're the two options. Okay, so from this story, it may be that then it goes on and something happens as a result of the left. So don't forget, it doesn't go from a diamond to another diamond. It's got to go to a process. So it's got to go from that condition, a diamond, to a process. So the process is being alive and the process is being dead. And then if you're alive, obviously nothing would happen here. That might just quit the game. Something might happen next, where the next bit of the story goes, okay, because it says you made it out alive, and it may be I don't know, you find yourself somewhere else, and then something else happens to you, and then we're in another condition, and so on and so on. So that's what I'm looking for in a flow diagram. Again, I'm not worried about things being perfect. I'm more concerned with you having a go at this. Whether you do it hand-drawn on paper, or you do it like I've done it in slides, or you do it on Word, I don't really care. I would prefer, for handing in, if you do it on paper, is that you take photographs of the drawings you've made and submit that. So that would be one of the things you hand in. If it's a PowerPoint, you could submit slides. If it's in Word, you could submit that, and you can do it by shapes. Okay, so I need a flow diagram, but I also need this code here as well. So I need this code. To share your code with me, your text adventure with me, you need to be in REPL. You need to go up to invite up here. And down here, or yours may not look like this, it may be that you have to click something like invite or share or something like this. If you do, then click that, and then down here you'll see this bit that says invite friends with a join link. It's that bit that I need. If you copy that, I need that there. Okay, so where do you put this? So you will have on the assessment a document, which I'm just bringing up now, that looks like this, and that's on your assessment in Sector. Okay, so on this document, if that's your text adventure that you've just copied onto there, you need to paste it into there. That's your link. If I got that link from you, then I can go and look at your REPL, your text adventure, and I can mark it. If you do this in here and you copy and paste from here, I'm not going to be able to look at it. So you need to provide me with that link that I've just shown you there. All right. So lastly, let's get on to testing. So you've got a test table down here. All I need from you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests minimum. Okay. So I'm not expecting anybody to do more than 5. Some of your tests will work. Some of your tests should show how it fails and that you've corrected things. Yeah. And that's what you really want. You don't want 5 tests that all work. All right. So testing is what you've been doing all along. Every time you've run that program to see if something works, that's a test. That's what testing's about. All right. So if you've already finished the thing, you're going to have to go back and test again. I doubt that many of you will have something perfect. So testing should be fine at this stage. Okay. So let me bring my REPL up again. Okay. I'll bring it up here. And I'm going to bring that document up again. And I'm going to move this document over to one side so we can work on both. He says, my computer's decided it doesn't want to play ball. Okay, that's fair enough. I'll just leave it there. So if I'm testing my my actual test adventure, I've got to write some test details. So what I'm going to test, I might be testing for spelling, punctuation, and grammar. Okay, that might be a test. So that's going to be a check that when I run things are spelled right, there's punctuation in the right place, like spaces, full stops, those kinds of things, and it all reads correctly. So I'll come back to here, I'll run it. You arrive at a crab farm and there are crabs on the, I can't read that bit there. They are 3 meters tall and very scray. look, it says very scray there. So there's immediately a spelling error, isn't there? So what I might do there is I might take a screenshot of that, and I've got my snipping tool here, new, and I'll go, oh, look, there, and I'll go edit, copy into here. I'll come back to my testing document here, and I'll go screenshot into there. So I'll put that screenshot and I'll just make it smaller so it doesn't make the document go a bit too weird. Okay, so there's my screenshot. Just going to come back up a bit so you can still see it. All right, so spelling punching change. So what did I do? Test results, ran the program, and there is a spelling error on the word scary. Improvement made, changed scary, scray. It was scray, wasn't it? Scray to scary. Okay, and then what I'd have to do is prove that I've done that. I'll just move this across so I can move it down. And then when I press enter here, I'll just press enter again to make another line. I'll come back to my text adventure. I'm going to change on the loose. There are crabs on the loose. Where is it? Which way? Where? They are 3 meters tall and very scary. Okay, scary. There. So if I go stop and now run it again, they are 3 meters tall and very scary. Okay, we can see it's correct now. So I'll bring back my snipping tool again. I'll go snip, and I'll go, they are 3 meters tall and very scary. Copy, come back to my document, and paste. Okay, so what we've got there is evidence that there has been an error, and I've corrected it. Now, you may have an error in code and you may have other errors, and indeed good testing should show a variety of those things. It should show testing of spelling, punctuation and grammar, testing that the program runs, testing if statements, those kind of things. If there was no mistakes in spelling, punctuation and grammar, I could say test results, ran the program and there were no errors, and then I wouldn't have to show a screenshot and I'd just put none in improvement made. That'd be fine as well. But you really don't want more than a couple of your tests that work perfectly. So that's how to do testing. So when you hand in, I need this document here with the testing done and that link on from your REPL. And I also need your data flow diagram, which is in electronic format. If you don't want to hand it in electronic format, you need to get it to me on paper. My office is at W111, and you can leave it on my desk there, make sure your name's on it, or you can hand it to me if I see you in the lesson. If you're in this morning's lesson, I'm not there. So, okay. Hopefully that clarifies anything. Message me on Sector if you've got any problems. You need to get this in by the end of the week, which is by end of school on Friday, unless you've seen me for an extension. Thank you. Bye.